5 o'clock leave, I had to come back, cause the wife, he's like, oh, no, it's 7. So we come back, hey, give us a call, and we'll come back. We set up our sit go, me and the lady did, went back at 6:45, tell them the post come in about 10 something, but we sold it to her, and she made some dang good money on it too.
The last thing I want to talk to you guys and girls about before we go on a break on the inspection part is it is important for you to get the customer early and often to commit that they wanted you and only you out there. It is very important through the entire walk around and inspection that you drop these little hints, right? Especially when you first start, before you even find your first problem. Eddie, I gotta ask you, I'm curious, I always ask everybody, what made you finally decide to fix these problems while I'm here? What made you finally decide to get these problems fixed while I'm here? You're getting them to commit that they want to fix them while you're here, and you're getting them to open up on what really changed in their life that caused them to go, this is enough, I need to get somebody out there, right? The next thing you want to say is, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. You do want something that's truly maintenance free, right?
Yeah, I'm getting older every day.
So this is my favorite line to do. Because remember how I told you I dangled that little carrot at the beginning saying how I might not be able to fix things for them and people want what they can't have? Well, I do it again here, and I love this because it makes them just Jones for me. And I'll say, let me ask you a question. I'm assuming the only reason you called me out here is because you want something truly maintenance free, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I don't want to waste any more of your time. So let me ask you a question. I'm not going to do anything here if you're going to touch the product when I put it on here. So I need to make sure before we waste any more time that when I do put this on the house that you're not going to get on the ladder or touch this. Are we on the same page, Eddie?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. And most of the time they go, oh, that's why I called you out here, right? But you're literally telling them, I'm not going to do this for you if you're going to touch my shit. Okay? And I'll embellish it and I'll kind of go deeper on it. But look, the only reason I say that, man, is some people call me out here, they spend all this money on me, and then they still get on the damn ladder and think they need to clean the stuff off. I just want to make sure that when we're done here, you understand that I can't have you touching my product. It will clean itself. That's why you're paying me to do a good job. It's going to self-clean itself. The gutters will not clog. It's part of the warranty. Just do me a personal favor. When I'm done here, when my team finishes up after the end of the day, that you do not touch my product when it's on there. Can I get you to commit to that, please? And yes, absolutely. All right, perfect. Last thing I want you to do is mess with it and hurt yourself, which defeats the purpose of me coming out here, or you screw it up and it voids your warranty. Right? When I say that to the customer, they're like, oh, you don't have to worry about that. No, well, no, definitely not. And they love it. They love it. And they also love the fact that I'm dangling the fact that I'm not going to even do this if they're not going to touch it. Right? So when's the last time, what finally made you decide to get this taken care of while I'm here today? I want to make sure we're on the same page. I'm assuming you called me out here because you're specifically only looking for something that's maintenance free. I just want to make sure we're on the same page because it's maintenance free. I'm not going to be able to even do any of this work for you if you're going to touch this once I'm done. So I just need to make sure that you understand that when I'm done and when my guys finish, I cannot have you touch our product. It will self-clean itself. If you see something on there, let a breezy day blow it off or let the rain and the bubbles agitate it, it will kick itself off, okay? I just want to make sure that when I'm done here, you're not touching my stuff, please. Will you give me that commitment, John and Mary? Absolutely, that's why you're here. We don't want to touch it. We're tired of getting on the ladder, blah, blah, blah. All right, good. I'm not going to have you spend all this money on me, and then you go up there and think you have to maintain it. You might as well not do anything and just deal with the problems. And they don't want to hear that because they want the problems fixed because they called you out there, right? The psychology of that is very important, that you tell them that they can't touch it. I love that. Can you imagine though? Can you picture how that'll work? How that works to the customer and how they feel about that, right? So doing that, and then just realistically summarizing up, saying, look, Eddie, obviously you've got a lot of problems here. Can you understand that fixing all of the root causes while I'm here today is probably a smart decision? Right? Alright, well, we'll see, I'll try to keep it under 40 grand, okay? Right? Anything I left out, Eddie, that you think we should add to the inspection part of it?
Not really, but while you're getting ready to go away from the inspection, one thing I do, you got a husband, wife, let's just say husband, wife, there, you can get him out there, but you just can't get her out there. Life's going on, she's cooking supper, taking care of the kid, emails, all that stuff, phone's ringing. She can't come out there, so I will do this on purpose. In my inspection, I will miss something, let him go back in there and say, oh my gosh, honey, he found 9 things wrong right here. And then when I go back in there and I've got them both sitting there, oh, here's one more thing. And he's like, oh my gosh, he looks at her and says, I mean, this was a setup just the other day, the reason why it's fresh on my mind, but he's like, oh my gosh, he had 9 things wrong and now there's 10? I mean, you see the urgency right there? I mean, it's just, like he said, psychology 101 right there on that stuff. So,
Any questions that you have on the inspection part of this process? Anything you wanna talk about, any questions, throw them at me, please. I'm an open book.
When you see the mold and stuff, or the algae growing on the bricks or whatever, what eventually is gonna happen?
Well, so what it does is mold and mildew, anything green or anything fungus is going to always navigate to the closest food store. So typically what happens is it's gonna end up rising and going up and up, and it's going to find a damp area. The usual suspects are the areas around the gutters. Typically it'll start where the rain falls, it'll crawl up, and then it eventually gets in the soffit. So the biggest conversation you have when it comes to mold or mildew or algae is ventilation. So do you all know at this time what a soffit is on a house?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the perforated vinyl or wood underneath the eave, right? Do we understand the way soffit works or what its purpose is?
Maybe not.
Okay, this is good. So the way a house is built is it's built typically with a peak or a high point, right?